Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be going through, is it possible for you to leave your 9-to-5 job to trade full time? And yes, I do know that full-time trading is a very big goal for a lot of people. Especially in this day and age when you can make money from your phone, trading is at the top of the list for ways to be making money from your phone. Obviously you want to leave your 9-to-5 job and learn how to trade. So let's go through the normal way to approach trading in 3 steps. Obviously, if you want to learn how to leave your 9-to-5 job to do trading, you have to learn how to do it in the first place. So the first step is obviously you'll have to learn the basics. There's lots of free websites out there that can actually help you, like babypips.com or even YouTube. The basics should come pretty easy to actually learn, but it will take a lot of time to actually get your head around what trading actually is. And number 2, you'll have to choose a strategy and then build a system around that strategy. And the way you build the system is by collecting data through back testing or forward testing. For me personally, I like forward testing a lot more compared to back testing, as it's a real simulation of the market just without taking the extra trade. And obviously for the third step, once you've put it all together and you have a profitable system, then you'll look to fund a personal account or a funded account, and you'll look to build your capital up from that. So once you've learned the basics, you've built your system, and now you're looking at personal accounts or funded accounts, what are most traders doing to go from the 9-to-5 job that they're working in to trading full time? So these days, from what I've seen, most traders will have other businesses going, they'll have other investments going, or they'll just have other streams of income coming in alongside their trading, right? So most of the time, it's actually very rare to see someone that escapes their 9-to-5 job with trading alone. And basically, they'll use all their resources possible to pretty much force going into full-time day trading, right? So there is a problem with that. The only problem with that is that you'll never truly know if you're able to pretty much truly escape your 9-to-5 from trading alone, right? Honestly, the way I see it, you need to be able to fully know that you're able to fully support yourself from trading alone. Especially in the early stages, you need to know early on if you're going to be able to do this stuff long term. If you're not going to be able to do it long term, then there's probably no point in you pursuing it. For me personally, if I wasn't able to get out of my 9-to-5 job with trading alone, I probably wouldn't have pursued it, and I probably would have just left it. Maybe my life would have been a little bit better if I kept it that way, but that's just the way you have to do it. So in my opinion, it's very important to actually realize that you have to be able to make it from trading by itself if you're looking to pursue it, right? Because you will never know if you're able to stand on your own 2 feet with trading if something goes wrong. Take it from me, because I've lost a lot, right? There's been a point in my life where I've lost everything. I've lost everything. And it was from trading. It was a couple of years ago. It's probably about 3-4 years ago now. I lost everything. And I've built myself back up, and I've done it the right way, right? The first time, I had no guidance, I had no mentorship, I had nothing. And I didn't really understand the mistakes I was making at the time. So obviously I had to build myself back up to get to where I am today. So I do know a thing or two about having to stand on your own 2 feet with trading, because you're the only one that's accountable, right? There's no other money coming in from anywhere else. The only money that's coming into my bank account that helped me get out of my 9-to-5 was from trading. It didn't come from anywhere else. I wasn't running anything else. I wanted to prove it to myself, because if I can't prove it to myself, then it's not going to work, right? The very first time, I didn't have any measures, I didn't have any targets in place to help me get out of my 9-to-5. As soon as I got funded, I was happy. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just go. Let me just leave my job. I was fine with it. So the very first time I failed. So I can't stress how important it is just to prove to yourself that you can actually do it and have the proof in front of you. Because if you can't do that, chances are you're probably going to fail and you're going to go back to where you were, if not even deeper. So my personal experience, I was working 70 hours a week, right? And I was still finding time to trade. I just had to trade a little bit of Frankfurt and a little bit of London. I couldn't trade during the day because I was working throughout that day, right? And I wanted to get out of my job the right way. I wanted to make sure I was able to escape by making at least $10,000 a month. Once I hit that milestone and I was able to do it consistently in the months coming, I was happy to leave my 9-to-5 job. So the very first time when I left my 9-to-5 job, obviously I didn't make my payouts, I didn't have any targets or anything set up for me. So this time around, I wanted to do it the right way. And this was still without any guidance, right? This was just through learning from my mistakes. That's all it was. And I'm like, okay, for me to be secure, for me to have a future in this, let me try and make a couple of $10,000 months. I didn't really come from a very fortunate family, so money has always been an issue in my family, right? And I was basically paying 50% of my paycheck to get a $200,000 account going. So for reference, for me to escape my 9 to 5, I was using a $200,000 funded account, right? But it was tough, right? 70-hour weeks, I had to use 50% of my paycheck to pay for a funded account. It was not a fun time at all. But I knew that if I was able to string together some $10,000 months and prove to myself that, okay, this is different. I've got the system, I've got the data collected, maybe this time around, I'm going to be able to do it properly. And that's exactly what I did. And I didn't burn any bridges when I left my 9 to 5 job. I kept everything civil, and they wanted me to chase my dreams because I was still young. They wanted me to go ahead and go do it, right? And they said, if it doesn't work out, it's fine. We're still going to be here for you. And you know, that's the type of people that you want to have in your life. So once I was able to start making $10,000 a month just from trading by itself, and I was able to be consistent with that, that's when it became appropriate for me to look into other businesses, look into bigger investments, and start looking for other ways to bring in more cash flow, right? That's when it becomes appropriate. As soon as you can do it and you can prove it to yourself, then you can start proving it to everyone else. So that takes me back to what most traders do these days. They have crypto going, that's making them income, or that's, you know, bull run or whatever. They have other businesses going. They never really get to test their trading and stand on their own 2 feet and have their back against the wall. That's what I believe makes a trader a trader. You have to stand on your own 2 feet and you have to get things done on your own. No rich family, no handouts, no nothing. You have to do it on your own. And you have to leave no room for failure, because if you fail, your family's just going to keep living in the same cycle, right? You're going to be struggling for money. And that's how I felt. I felt like I was struggling for money, family was struggling for money, and it's still not easy, right? But obviously now things are a little bit better. Obviously financially, things are okay. But you know, there's still other problems in life, and I'd be lying if I said money would solve all of your problems, because it'll probably take care of the financial aspects for you. But apart from that, there's still going to be problems in your life. So honestly, it's not going to solve all of your problems as well. Just a little side note for you guys. But so when you guys do have it figured out, obviously it's going to be a little bit more easier for you guys, because you're going to be having cash flow coming in, right? You have the skill set. Now you've got cash flow coming in from all your other businesses. So you can top up your personal account. You can start buying funded challenges easier. Obviously you can start doing that. You can start making profit from there, right? So the struggle at the start, that's what helps you and shapes you as a trader. When you have it figured out, it's pretty easy, because you know, you can find your crypto investments a little bit easier. You can have your businesses going, they bring you cash flow and whatnot. You can look to diversify your money in so many different ways, and then when you're starting to see some return from your other investments and whatnot, you can put it into your trading account and you can grow that even more. So when you guys do have it figured out, it's going to be a lot more easier. Obviously there's still going to be problems in your life, but you won't struggle as bad as you did at the start, right? And I do think it's a very important learning curve to struggle at the start, because if you don't have that struggle where you just have to rely on your trading, you're not going to know what real pressure feels like. You're not going to know what it feels like to be at the very depths, the lowest of lows. You're not going to be able to know what that feels like. And I feel like that's a very important lesson for all of us to go through, because if you don't know what the lowest of lows feels like, when it does hit you, it's going to be a very, very big wake-up call. Honestly, these days with mentorships, you got people on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, there's a lot of people that can actually help, and the space has actually grown a lot compared to what it was a couple of years ago. So I do think it's a little bit more easier actually these days to pretty much succeed, because there's a lot of people that are on the same journey as you. Back then, there's not really a lot of people that actually know what trading is, or they think it's some sort of Forex signal scam, right? So if you are looking to be a profitable trader in 2024, I'm just urging you to do it the right way. Stand on your own 2 feet. Go through the struggle first, because once you go through the struggle, it does get easier. So make sure you guys do it the right way. It might suck a little bit at the start, I know. And trust me, I know how it feels to be at the lowest of lows, and you're dedicating 50% of your paycheck to a funded challenge, because you know that's your way out. I know how it feels. So make sure you prove it to yourself first. Stand on your own 2 feet. And once you do that, and you start proving it to yourself and you have the proof in front of you, then you can start proving it to other people. And then from there, start looking at businesses, start looking at investments, start taking care of yourself, start living a better life. And then once you do that, everything will all come together. Because once you make it, it's going to be a little bit more easier for you. The money's going to be coming in regardless. I will be uploading more consistently. I'll try my best for you guys, but I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Drop a like down below, comment if you have any questions, and I'll catch you boys in the next one. Peace.